Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with Joe Courtney, owner, president of Home Source Custom Homes. Joe, exciting stuff we've talked about here. And I tell you, the last question we just finished up with the previous show, if you missed the whole first show or you only saw part of it, it's all on our YouTube channels. Joe's going to get a copy for his stuff too. Check it out there on our Facebook, YouTube, etc. But we just had a great discussion about what sets him apart, and really that customization, letting people really finish things the way they want to have them finished. Even if it were up to they finish up the painting themselves, it really allows them to do that custom build. You can't get that anywhere else.
I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Even if, let's say you're an electrician, you can wire your own house. Although you need to have a licensed electrician, so hopefully the company you work for will be your license for that. But yeah, that's our customer. Someone that gets in there and gets dirty and has fun building a home with us.
Well, we started off wearing the Cardinal Cowboy hat at the beginning of this show because we're really getting into stuff where we help the community. And with that, I want to talk about this because this is a big one with you. I can imagine you help people in this little realm of where this question can go. But tell me one of the biggest mistakes that consumers make. And it could be when they don't get a custom home made, right? But along the way, the whole process, I mean, how do you get everything done
I think
effectively?
The one I see the most, and if you did this, it's not a huge mistake, but if you get the blueprint first, because you just don't know how much that costs. So I think it's better to come into us, let's get a price, and then spend the money on the blueprint, because a lot of people come in, they've spent 10 grand sometimes on blueprints, and then they can't afford it. So now they got to draw another one or go back to the architect, have him fix stuff. So the other mistake I would say is probably trying to save too much money. Like sometimes if you want it done right. My dad always said, hey, it only hurts once paying too much. If you don't pay enough, it'll get you all the way through.
I like that.
So sometimes trying to save money, I see people make a few mistakes.
Sure, yeah. Well, that goes along with one of my favorite quotes. It's along those lines. It's just cheap. My dad would say cheap gets very expensive over time, right?
That's a good one. I like that.
If you're going to be cheap, you're going to cost yourself along the way.
Right.
Do it right the first time, because at least it only costs you that. I like the way you said that. Cost you once. That's all the pain you're going to feel, and then it's done right, so you're not dealing with it on a reoccurring basis.
Right.
Oh, we still didn't get the. We saved a few bucks with not using the right screws or nails, and now this thing's leaking all the time.
Yeah.
You can imagine there's 1,000 problems you can come up with a house that could be true.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just lots of components, so I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, we're pretty much in control of the shelf, so structurally you're good. You got 10-year warranty on structure and all that stuff with us. Yeah. So one claim in all the years too. So
really,
yeah.
So went in and fixed
that. We're proud of that. We did. Yeah.
Okay. How many houses overall have you constructed?
Oh
custom?
boy, I don't know.
You take a
lot,
guess.
A lot.
How many average per year? Any idea?
We 20 to 25 a year. Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
And we got a 100-mile radius too, so we're all over. Like a lot of driving we're doing. So 100 miles, pretty good radius. So,
sure. Yeah, you can go all the way over in Illinois, and then out almost halfway to Kansas City, and lots of range. So more than the greater St. Louis area. You're going to extended greater St. Louis area.
Sometimes we'll go further depending on where carpenters are. So if we got people in the area, we'll go a little further. So.
And with that, we talked a little bit about this, but I don't know if we give a specific number. You're coming up. You're 39 years in business now.
Yes. Yeah.
So 20 times 20, that's like 4,000 houses over the year. Is that?
I know. Well, you know what? I've thought about this. I've just not done it. we know everyone we've done, and it would be interesting to see. You know what I mean? Exactly how many we've done, but I mean, a couple of years we've done 30. 35.
Okay.
I think 35 was our record.
And I think I added a zero there because I was going, but it's 400 houses or so. I mean, I can imagine building one house, you're going to learn a lot from that. By the time you've done your second or third, you've got 400 under your belt. You can really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Well, tell me then, what is it, tell me a time when you really felt like you helped somebody that was stuck or a tough situation, and you say, hey, we're going to make this right. We're going to fix this. Somebody else left them in a tough spot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a few examples like that.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're dealing with subs, people's heart is in it, like the sub's heart is in it. Customer don't like it, and he's like, what's wrong with it? You know, and then I always got this thing, there's 3 ways to do something right, and you can argue which one's better. You know, there's obviously things could be wrong. And like for us, we fix it no matter what, whether the sub stands behind his work or not. Like, it's all about the customer here. So anyway, our first attempt would be with that sub, and then after that, if we got to get somebody else in there, we got to get somebody else in there. But we want it right 100% of the time. And then other things, like because it's a unique home, never been built before, there's just things that come up. And you know, the blueprint showed a vault, and it worked, and it was centered on the window. And let's say it didn't quite work out that way. The fireplace threw it off, so now it doesn't feel centered, even though it technically is. So there's always little things that we come up with to make that look right and make the customer happy. I don't feel like I've ever had an issue that I couldn't overcome. So, and that again is the experience from growing up and just the know-how and seeing everything. And all these 33 years I've been heavily involved in the business, I haven't been stumped yet. So, anyway, knock on wood, right?
Yeah, knock on wood. Knock on porcelain, knock on glass. But that's important. I think when you're customizing something, that leads to where there's all kinds of opportunity, but also ways to make it work. I mean,
Right.
I know how that comes about when you're saying this is the plan we had, but because you moved this closet a foot and a half that way, now these two joists don't connect, and then you got to shift the roof. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff that you probably have to deal with. But because you've done so much custom work,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of, all right, let's figure a way to make this happen.
We had one job. It was a 3-story house. We just got the roof on, just got the shingles on, and the customer comes in and says, I don't like it. I want to start moving all these walls. Well, there was major support in all these walls.
Right.
Wait a minute. I mean, we got to get the engineer out here. So that one, I knew engineer definitely had to be involved. You know what I mean? We had to chip up floors and move steel beams and columns and everything to accommodate what she wanted, you know, but we got it done. So,
Wow.
but that was a rough one.
Yeah, and well, if they would have said that to any other builder, they'd have said, "Sorry, this is
Yeah.
the way it is."
Yeah, I mean, this is what you bought. So, and we really want the customer to get what they want. So they're spending a lot of money, and we know that, and we care, you know, and I think one of our biggest things that I like about our company, even all the employees I have, we're all honest. We're not going to be lying to you. I mean, you may not like what we got to say, but it's the truth.
It's going to be the truth. Yeah.
So
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
You got to, when you're talking about a $350,000 house
Yeah.
and the construction thereof, you better make sure that you're just saying this is the way it's got to be, because you're involved with structural
Yeah.
configurations and stuff that will not support, and then you've got a roof that could collapse. I mean, you've got to be honest with these people and say, hey, can't do what you, great idea, but
Yeah.
in concept, but we can't put that in place here.
And if there's any possible way, we'll do it. You know what I mean? So I mean, we got the best, I feel, trust people and engineers in the area. So if there's a way, we can figure it out. So
Well, that makes it exciting for people. I keep putting different pictures. You can see some examples of stuff up there that Joe's got, but check out their Facebook page for that as well. With that, tell me, what is the process here? What does somebody do? And you say, all right, Joe, build me a house. I want to do this. What's the first thing? What are the steps?
yeah, I say go to our website, look at our library of homes. You can go to any any floor plan company, buy new houses or whatever to get your floor plans and elevations you can look at, and just find something close that works for your family. If you got 3 kids, you want a 4-bedroom. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Being custom, we can always add a bedroom. So if you happen to, I love this house, but it's just short 1 bedroom, we can add a bedroom. So if the master bedroom's not big enough, we can make it bigger. So just keep that stuff in mind when you're looking at the floor plans. And I also try to encourage people to look at the floor plan, not so much the elevation. Although the elevation is important, there's a lot of things we can do to the elevation where the floor plan is a little more critical. So once we get the floor plan, that's gonna make the shape of your home and the roof design. from there. And then you always got options of hips or gables, and different types of siding up in the gables. And like I say, that's probably the number one thing. So figure out kind of what you want roundabout, and then come see us. Give us a call. Let's set an appointment and let's talk about it.
And fill out that page right on the front of your website. You've
That's
got
also helpful.
the price your plan.
Yeah,
right
and
there.
we'll get a call back to you within a couple days. We'll go over, like, if there's a couple things filled out, possibly filled out wrong, maybe you didn't understand the question, we'll clarify them things, and we'll be able to kind of tell them what we think their budget should be on the home, how many square feet they can afford, and just kind of go from there.
Take note, everybody. You can get started very quickly, very easily right here. Price your plan. Call these guys. If you want to get a house built, Home Source Custom Homes, talk to Joe. He's the president, and he'll make sure this gets done for you.
Yeah.
Been doing this for 33 years. The business has been in 39, coming up on 40.
40, almost a big 4-0.
Big 4-0.
Yeah.
Started young. That's important. That's key. That's somebody who's got so much experience like you guys do there. Well, tell me, what's a challenge that's something that often people go through when they say, "Oh, Joe, I thought, but he," and what about? And I guess I don't know. I won't want to preface that with anything. Tell me something that comes up that people have to work through.
I think the challenge, and I think everybody knows the stress of building a home. There's so many components, so many decisions, and even like picking colors. There's little samples like this you're looking at, trying to coordinate colors and stuff.
All right.
I think that's the hardest thing. Finding the floor plan, finding the lot, and picking colors, I think, are the hardest things to do. So,
Really?
but then there's so many components. Like there could be some things thrown your way. I'm trying to make it. Well, just the heating and cooling. I mean, there's so many advances in the heating and cooling nowadays too. Like, most builder grade units are 85%, but you can get up to 96% efficiency, 91. Humidifiers, the allergy, I don't know, it zaps. I forget what they call it, but
Okay.
any kind of dust, it zaps it.
Oh, really?
So if you got allergies, that's good for people with allergies. But all these questions are being asked to the customer, and I see that being a little hard, but we'll talk them through it. You know what I mean? So we're a team till we're done. So they just need to know that if they don't understand, call us and we'll explain it. So. But I think that's the hardest thing for customers: lot, floor plan, and picking colors. It seems to be the hardest thing to me. So
Still the same things you deal with here, everybody, but you get such a customized approach. You make sure that there's no question goes unanswered. I won't say it again specifically, but I remember I came in and I go, "Why are there bronze or instead of nickel knobs?" And they said, "Because that's what you put." I go, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, then can we change it?" They're like, "Sure, X amount of dollars extra to do that." And it's just like, well, that wasn't part of the process. I guess I didn't feel as though this thing, because it was a numbers kind of a game to
Yeah.
get somebody through here. When you got the specific attention you pay, those kinds of things can be addressed more readily and more clear,
Yeah.
so that people don't have to worry about that
out
kind
of
of stuff.
curiosity, were the hinges on your doors bronze too?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because that gets forgotten. So like that's one of our questions we ask in our production meeting, like before we start. And we have examples like, what color do you want? And we're asking so that the hinges match the hardware.
Right.
And then
Okay.
sometimes the lighting will establish what they want to do with their hardware too. But
Okay.
it's important.
These are all things. These are the kinds of things you get attention paid to when you get a custom home built. So why wouldn't you want to get it done by one of the best custom home builders in the world, Home Source Custom Homes, right here in St. Louis?
Yeah.
And have you been based out of the Arnold area the entire time?
So yeah, we started in Barnhart in '84. We were in a little strip mall, and then in '91 we moved to our office right there at Richardson Road off the outer road.
Okay.
So we've been there since '91, and then we got a log home on site. That used to be a bigger part of our business, like 30% of our business. Now it's probably about 5%, I guess. So mostly what we do is custom homes, but we also do log homes. If anybody's interested in a log home,
Okay. Do it
that's
Lincoln
one of
style.
those you can't talk somebody into a log home but if they want one, you can't talk them out of it either.
Really?
So it's
Okay.
just kind of one of them deals. So
So you cover the gamut. As a matter of
yeah.
if they say I want to have a neuro mosaic, I mean anything that they want, you could custom build it for them.
yeah, I'm up for the challenge.
Up for the challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's important. Tell me then, with the word challenge, what's one big challenge you've had to overcome in your business over the years? This time you had to help somebody who was
Gosh,
stuck.
what
I
just
can imagine.
happened? The inflation? Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay,
I've
yeah.
never seen anything like that.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, usually it's one or two things a year. This was across the board, and really not fair to me, the customer, the banks, anybody. We all have to deal with it. You know what I mean? That was tough. 2008 was tough. We made it through that. Which there's something to say for that. That was pretty bad on most builders in 2008 when the market crashed, and you know, COVID, that was tough too. I mean, we're trying to figure out, all these years we're working from the office, people come in, we present, and now nobody wants to talk to anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, with technology, Zoom and everything, we made it happen. So it was, we're always, I feel like, changing to fit the times. You
Sure.
know what I mean? So if you're not changing, what's that say? If you're not changing, you're losing. I don't
You're
know,
losing.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I know that those who adapt to change most readily are the ones who survive.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, my boss had put up a poster because there was a big change made in the department, and he's put up a sign that said, "Hey, change is what is necessary, but those who adapt to change best are the ones who survive." But it was interesting to me that a builder, a construction guy, knows what Zoom is, right?
Yeah. Well, I can't say that I can do it. I know what it is though.
And yeah, but the Zoom has just the technology. I'm not fortunate to be kind of on the edge with the technology side of the world. There's so much that goes into that these days.
Yeah.
But a matter of keeping up, you got to always be able to keep up. Do you give renderings to people too, so they can kind of see what their house will look like, or how do they determine?
If they ask for it, we can get them.
Okay.
Again, the whole way through, we're trying to keep the quality, but the cost down. But the renderings, some counties require it.
Okay.
So you have to do it in some counties, but we don't do it unless we have to. But if the customer really can't see it, I think something pretty cool is like the 3D, like all these architects got that Revit.
Okay.
And it's a 3D picture of your house. Like you can even walk through the house, and they adjust it to your eye level. So if you're 6 foot or 5'4" or whatever,
Right.
so you're kind of walking through the house as if you're actually in it. It's a little cartoony, but it still gives you a real good feel, a 3D view
Okay.
of what you're going to be getting.
He wasn't looking at me when he said 5'4". I'm 5'8", 5'9" with my cleats on, but
I can tell.
but we can adjust. But that's somebody who knows his business so well to say, "Hey, render this thing up at the high level at 5'6".
Yeah, there you go.
Even though he says 5'8", right?
Yeah.
But that allows people to get kind of an idea of what they're getting there, and they get to see the blueprint
Yeah.
and outlines everything. I mean, I never even got to see a rendered version of my house. I got to see the cookie cutter, you know, the output for what they had. But I customized mine, put a third car garage on it, and so I never got to see it until it was getting built.
Yeah.
And I'd go over there and I would catch them in the middle of something saying, "No, you're building with the old plan apparently because it has." I had a walk-in. I was kind of proud to have a walk-in closet,
Yeah.
and they were sliding it off and going to split it, and so half of the closet was on the other room's side, and I had to point that out to them, so they had to tear that out. How often do you have things go like that, where people are like,
So-
"Hey, wait a minute, I think," or that you talked about where somebody said, "Oh, I changed my mind straight up."
Yeah, well, that happens in the middle of the, and we understand it because, like I don't know if we were in the first show or talking previously, but some people can't see, looking at a blueprint, what it actually is. So when the wall actually goes up, they're like, "I didn't know there was a wall there," and I'm like, "It's right there," you know. And
Okay.
so there are some changes we got to do, but we really try hard to get it on the blueprint because, kind of like yours, they probably had the standard blueprint, and they probably verbally told the carpenter, "Hey, we're doing a walk-in." Now he's got to remember this, you know.
Right, and they get out there.
So now it's a memory thing, and even changes with us, they're difficult because if it's not on the print, they're looking at the print every day for every measurement, and it's easy to forget something. That's the worst part about the change order is getting it right, I guess. So we did our job. We told the carpenter, but he forgot.
Right.
Now it's built. Now we got to tear it down. But the homeowner did it right. He came in, made the change. This is what it costs. We didn't do it, so it's obviously we got to tear it down and redo it. But it's no extra cost to the customer.
Okay.
Sometimes we have it built and they're like, I got to redo this whole thing, and we've done it. And we just charge them whatever time it takes us.
Okay.
So, we have a change order fee that we're pretty lenient on, because my goal is to have the customer get exactly what they want. So I know how much money they're paying. They've worked their life to get this money, and most of our customers, it's their last home, it's their dream home, so it means a lot to them. So, and I want to be part of smiles, not frowns. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Well, the key is to make the customer happy. With that, let me show a few pictures you've got over. I want to show some of the interior of the designs here. So, anything specific here? I mean, this is I guess
this is more of a modern style. You can see by the trim, the base trim, there's not a whole lot of detail to it. And then even around the window, I don't know if you can tell, it's just straight. So it's more of a modern feel of the home here. Nice clean lines.
Here's a heck of a good-looking bathroom, and that's got that kind of the old tub style there.
Yeah.
And talk about this if you want.
So that is they were doing clawfoot tubs. This is another type of freestanding tub, but I don't know if you can see that spout coming out, but that actually comes up out of the floor
Oh, really?
and comes into there's a handheld thing that goes with it too. Anyway, and then you can see the shampoo niches in the shower. That's all. It's actually tile. It looks similar to your, doesn't it?
Yeah. It looks like we got the same finish for the
And then
marble finish
They
around
did
our.
a line of decorative trim through there to give it a little more character.
Okay.
But anyway, easy to clean shower, I say.
Sure. Well, it looks great, and as I say, there's so much good work that you've got out there. I wanted to give people.
Well, if you go back,
Oh, yeah, we go
see
back.
the black knobs.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh well,
Yeah, you can
I
see.
guess you can see the door stop black, but you can't really see the hinges. I thought we were going to see the hinges on the door too, but we kept the same thing with the lighting, the knobs, the shower door, the black fixtures, the
Yeah,
black
the frame of
frames. Yeah. So if you look at that, it's important to have everything the same. You wouldn't want to have a bronze something with black. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? You want everything to be the same.
Okay. Very, very important. It's a matter of
Little details.
a lot of your interior design going on there. So yeah, I get this house. I'm looking across the street there, a little brick house. This house probably stands out of the one they're in.
This one's in Brentwood, and this is a little office slash, what would you call it, a baby room or whatever?
Okay.
Nursery, yeah. But
You do some custom decks for people too.
yeah, so this one's basic treated. So this is the cheapest way to build a deck right now, and
Right.
to me, it's treated, semi-maintenance free.
Right.
And the only issues we have with treated, the spindles sometimes warp. So
Yeah.
we just put them up. A year later, they call us and there's a couple warp. We just put new ones on. So
Gotcha.
eventually you'll get it. So,
All right. Here's a good looking. Was it family room, living room?
yep, living room.
And you can see just all the work. Now white seems to be kind of the theme. And so
Right.
people like that white finish nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, clean, white, clean lines. That's kind of what we were going for here.
Okay. And you see modern decor, modern setup, got the
Yeah.
mirrors. And boy, but that's why I say some of the houses around the neighborhood are going to say that they got the new style house
Yeah.
over there versus some of the older structures that have been around for a while.
These floors too. So this is an engineered hardwood, and you can go real expensive on them or not so much. But these are hand scraped or different widths. This floor turned out really, really good, and it's easy to put down. Homeowners can even put it down if they wanted to.
Okay.
So,
That's part of what they benefit by having a custom job available with a custom builder that can allow them to do so. We're looking inside of a kind of a kitchen area. Goes into is that the same family room over there?
it is, yep.
Okay.
So the fireplace is off to the right there.
Okay.
But the dining room is kind of part of the living area. You see the steps to go upstairs. Anyway, this is the island here for entertaining.
Yeah, got to have that island these days. That
Where all
seems
the
like it's
barbecue goes.
essential, right? Wow. Well, some great looking stuff there. We appreciate you going through some of the renditions of the work that you've done there. But tell me then, what is one major objection you have to deal with when somebody says, "I'm thinking about having you guys build a house, but I can't think of too much." But
It's always price.
it's always price. Okay.
Yeah. So what's hard for us is they tell us what we want and we price it. Like we don't make the price. This is what it is. So,
Right.
Unfortunately, all they can do is sacrifice. And,
Okay.
Now we do give discounts to first responders and teachers and all that stuff. But for the most part, I think we talked about in the first show, the presentation sheet, it spits out prices for anything extra, like a 9-foot first floor or even a 10-foot or 12-foot, whatever people want, but it gives them a number that they can subtract if need be. So
Well, there you go. And that really covers for us a lot of the important stuff that most people need to know. When you're going to get a custom home, why wouldn't you get one from the best? There are only a few people I know around in this little planet that can custom build a home for you. But with that, Home Source Custom Homes, right here in St. Louis, Missouri, depending what part of town you're in. But that's homesourcecustomhomes.com, 636-296-0100. As we finish up here, a couple questions for you if we can finish up here. We only got a minute or so left. But Joe, tell me, what gives you the most satisfaction about what you're doing?
the smile when the customers actually move in and see all their choices they made, and it all comes together. It's a pretty big smile, you
Right.
know. And actually, we want them involved. They are involved. They really feel like they did it, you know. So, and they really did. They designed it. We just made it happen.
You just put it together for
Yeah.
me. Well, tell me, how do you feel that you contribute to the community? Building these houses for families has got to make you feel good.
It does. Yeah, we're glad to be part of it. St. Louis has got a lot of great builders, and I'm glad to be one of them. Again, we want to be great, build a great house, do a great job for everybody. So, anyway, it's hard to. We got that 100-mile radius because you never know where people want to live, rural, middle of the city, anywhere, you know. I like that part about us too, that we'll go anywhere. So,
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Home Source Custom Homes. Check them out. Talk to Joe Courtney, president, owner, and been working in this business for 33 years. They're 39 years old. Got in with the family early. Keep up the good work. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.